Cross White.
Happy Friday, everyone. I'm Scott Martin. Harvey Weinstein is expected to be in a New York courtroom this morning to face criminal charges related to allegations of sex abuse.
Dozens of women say he sexually harassed them, but this would be the first criminal case against the former Hollywood mogul. CBS's Laura Podesta has the details.
Harvey Weinstein is expected to surrender to authorities today. He's facing criminal charges involving at least one of the women who've accused him of sexual assault. The case reportedly involves actress Lucia Evans. She told investigators and The New Yorker that Weinstein forced her to perform oral sex on him in his Miramax office in Manhattan in 2004. Late last year, the Manhattan DA's office appointed a senior sex crimes prosecutor to investigate accusations by Boardwalk Empire actress Paz de la Huerta. She insists Weinstein raped her twice in 2010. Dozens of women have accused the former Hollywood mogul of sexual harassment, misconduct, and rape. Weinstein has repeatedly denied having non-consensual sex with any of the women who've come forward. Attorney Jean Christensen represents some of Weinstein's accusers. She told CBS this morning that a conviction could be used in similar cases against him.
At a minimum, I would expect that they will feel satisfied that he's held accountable for his conduct.
A spokesperson for the Manhattan District Attorney told CBS News yesterday, quote, "Our investigation is in an advanced stage." The NYPD says it's looking into multiple accusations.
I'm not going to give you an exact number, but it's more than one. We have several complaints, and it's actively being investigated.
The avalanche of allegations against Weinstein ignited the Me Too and Time's Up movements. Laura Podesta, CBS News, New York.
Federal authorities have been investigating Weinstein since at least January. Individuals were questioned regarding Weinstein arranging the travel of women for the purpose of having sex.
Your first alert forecast with meteorologist Jacob Dickey.
Good morning, and thanks for joining us out there on Sunrise. We're looking at some fog on our Skycam in Louisville, one of the few places that has that. Dense fog advisory also for Pickens County, Alabama until 9 a.m. We're at 64 with the dew point at 63. That's why we're seeing those low clouds there saturated near the surface, and so if you're heading out, reduce visibilities, use your headlights, and slow down. By 8 a.m., I think most of that fog will mix out by lunchtime into the low 80s for a chance for a few scattered showers and storms in the afternoon and evening, becoming more numerous, more than yesterday that we saw as we head for those upper 80s. We'll put it at 87 in Columbus, 88 in Macon and Philadelphia, 86 in Winona for the day. Now we're going to check into the tropics real quick. Watching Invest 90, it is off the coast of the Yucatan Peninsula. Got some good storms forming with that as it organizes here overnight into the early morning hours. It will lift to the north. As it does so, we'll watch for some heavy rain in spots here on the coast. And that's going to impact us if you're heading to the coast this weekend. Be watching that. Also expecting to see that heavy rain work into our direction. We'll have to wait and see how that shakes out. 7-day forecast shows the chance for heavier rain Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and Wednesday we'll maybe clear out and get to some more hot and humid weather by Thursday.
All right, thanks, Jacob. The use of 3D printers in medicine is growing nationwide.
Yeah, this is pretty awesome. Now doctors in Ohio are using the technology to tailor heart valve replacements for patients. It helps predict and avoid complications.
Tracy Townsend has the story from Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, how about that?
For years, doctors monitored 78-year-old Bernice Belcher for a heart murmur. But last year, it got worse.
I couldn't stand tall because if I did, I got real dizzy.
Turns out she had a blocked artery and severe aortic valve stenosis, restricting blood flow to the heart. Her diseased valve needed to be replaced. Using 3D printers, physicians and biomedical engineers at Ohio State created a 3D model of Bernice's aorta. Then they use a heart simulator to pump transparent blood through the model to see what works best.
3D printing lets us exactly assess the unique anatomy and physiology of each patient, and then we are able to test different valves.
In Bernice's case, the simulation showed a less invasive catheter procedure would not work to replace her valve.
Once the physicians were able to see this possible adverse outcome, the discussion led to the best option being traditional open heart surgery.
I feel when I think about things now that I was a walking time bomb. I don't have no shortness of breath. I have not had any pain.
Bernice says the replaced valve has given her a new lease on life. Tracy Townsend, CBS News, Columbus, Ohio.
The symptoms of aortic stenosis can include shortness of breath, chest pain, and heart palpitations. It really does seem like they can just make anything on those 3D printers now.
You know, we were talking about how you can't really trust technology sometimes, which you can't, but
Right.
I mean, now look at this. I mean, the things that they can do and that they're making is amazing.
And when you've got a doctor behind it, I sort of feel like I can trust the
Yeah,
technology.
I have
a
more
little-
confidence
a little
in
bit more
that for sure.
than an Amazon
Yeah,
device or
yeah.
Facebook or something like that.
Definitely.
Well, let's go back to our Mississippi Peanut Supply question of the day. How will you spend your Memorial Day weekend?
I know Sheila said something about having a cookout, and I need her to call me.
Yep, David is having a cookout too, and that new grill he got Memorial Day. Gene's talking about going to try and get a little fishing in, so we'll see how it all shakes out. We think we'll have some dry time, better chances on Saturday, maybe Sunday morning, but we've got that tropical trouble, as we'll call it, that's heading our direction, so that could bring us some heavy rain. Probably more Sunday and Monday. We'll have to watch it then. So
I really don't mind getting some rain on the weekend as long as we get some breaks in there too. I feel like
yeah,
that
I
makes
think Saturday would be
Listen.
more apt for that.
Every weekend I've done pool days, and I thought last Sundays after church are my pool days, and I almost got rained out. I literally went and set out the pool for an hour waiting for the rain to go away.
Guess who we
So-
texted asking when it was going to end? So I was like, hey, give it an hour, and sure enough.
Yeah, because everyone blames the weatherman.
Yeah.
We all, we point fingers. So, Gene, hopefully you can beat the rain and get some fishing in,
Right,
and
if-
maybe have a fish fry.
And if
Man,
not-
I'm just asking everybody to invite me over for food.
He's really hungry, apparently.
Hey, maybe our guest Longhorn over there will invite you over. You can have some of their food here in a little bit too.
I'm gonna go over there for sure.
Call dibs. So
Definitely.
stay with us. We've got more on Sunrise right after the break. Welcome back. It is 6:11. The cast of Solo, a Star Wars story, includes plenty of new faces, including some veteran actors thrilled to be making their Star Wars debuts.
A lot of Star Wars fans out there, they may be liking this. David Daniel talked with them about the big movie opening this weekend.
Everything you've heard about me is true.
Donald Glover says his first toy as a child was a Lando Calrissian figure. In Solo, a Star Wars story, he's Lando, and Glover's son has a new toy.
My girl will send me videos of him playing with them, and she'll be like, "Who's that?" And he'll be like, "Daddy." Kind of like, this is Daddy.
L3! Let's go with the mean man's face. Who are these guys?
He's teamed with Phoebe Waller-Bridge as L337, a different kind of droid.
She's flexible and she's built herself. She's created herself out of lots of other bits of droids. And so she's totally self-made, she's unique and independent, and she's got her own plan for herself.
Then there's Paul Bettany as a vicious crime boss.
Absolutely no qualms and no neurosis and no guilt and just really good at hurting people and being naughty.
The mysterious Kira is played by Amelia Clarke, who was thrilled to step onto a Star Wars set.
You know you're entering hallowed ground. You know you're entering something that is beloved by so many people and that you are #blessed to be a part of it.
There's a lesson to be learned here.
Tandy Newton and Woody Harrelson, whose characters teach the young Han Solo a thing or two, praise the craftsmanship of the filmmakers.
It was kind of like old-fashioned movie making, because we've both been doing it for quite a long time. You know, the grandmother,
Thespian.
grandfather of cinema. But, you know, the fact that we remember going to see the first movie and we're in the movie, it's pretty cool.
I got a really good feeling about this.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Now, I would say, Scott, probably that isn't the movie for you just because you haven't seen any of the other Star Wars movies. You might be a little lost.
I have not, and I hope no one gets upset with me when I say this, but I'm just not a Star Wars fan.
And that's okay.
I just can't.
And that's okay. I mean, really, the whole reason I'm drawn to it is because, like them, I watched the originals when I was a little kid. You know, I've grown up with it and had it my whole life. I think if I was coming into it as an adult and never having seen them, I don't know if I would be as big of a fan as I am. So I understand.
And I might, one of these days, I might, break down and have like a Star Wars marathon.
If you got a free weekend, do some Star Wars binge watching.
Yeah.
Well, next on Sunrise, Jacob Dickey has a full look at your Friday forecast.
And later, altered judgment details on a drug ring inside America's nuclear defense system. That and much more still to come. You're watching Sunrise.
Your First Alert forecast with meteorologist Jacob Dickey.
We've been watching our downtown Louisville, Mississippi Skycam all morning long and already seeing that fog start to mix out from downtown. Just 15 minutes ago, couldn't even see down the road here. Now, just to the west of town towards the Walmart there's still some fog over there. And we took a 360 view of it earlier, spun it around, and you can see some fog all around downtown. But downtown itself looks like it's getting that fog out of there. 63 right now in Louisville. The dew point is 62. That shows that it's saturated in the air. And so we are watching some areas for patchy fog. Dense fog advisory for Pickens and Tuscaloosa counties in Alabama, and points to the south and east from there. As our temperatures are in those low to mid 60s, even some 70s in spot. 70 for you up in Corinth, up in Iuka, 68 in Calhoun City. We're seeing 63 in Louisville, 65 in Columbus. They will quickly rise through the morning. We'll get into the 80s by lunchtime, and in the afternoons, good chance for some scattered showers and storms as we get the upper 80s. Heat index could be up in the low to mid 90s in spots. Futurecast shows the blossoming of showers and storms on the board during the day today. As we get into tonight, they fizzle out. Very typical summer-like day for us. But as we get into the weekend, we get more from a summer pattern to a tropical pattern. If you're heading to the beach here, it looks like we'll get showers and storms Saturday, Sunday, and on Monday. That's because of Invest 90L as it moves to the north, a 90% chance of developing into a tropical depression over the next 5 days. Really, I think in the next 2 to 3 days as it moves out of this area of high wind shear into the warm Gulf waters of Mexico. We'll see that tropical depression form and move in our general direction. As it does so, then it will come somewhere between probably most likely Pensacola, Panama City, over to New Orleans, and as it does then bring heavy rain with it. That will be the big story for this, especially with areas that have already seen heavy rain. So for folks here in northeast Mississippi and west Alabama, if it takes this more western track here, we could see some showers and thunderstorms most likely on Sunday and on Monday for that. But really, all of the southeast is expected to see the heavy rain as this area of low pressure moves on in. Our 7-day forecast shows that we've got the chance for those showers and storms increasing Saturday, especially into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, maybe even hanging around into Wednesday. Could see some heavy rain from this before we look to clear things back to more summer-like weather on Thursday. Time now for our weather quiz question of the morning by Spiller Furniture and Mattress. We are asking, when was the last time a hurricane made landfall on the Mississippi Gulf Coast? Was it 1969, 2005, or 2017? We'll have this answer and much, much more. Here we're going to toss to sports now with Robbie.
Hey, very good morning to you. Hope you're having a great start to your Friday. As you probably know, baseball is weird, it's strange, it can be fascinating, it can be heartbreaking. It can also be exciting and wonderful. All of those emotions and feelings on display Thursday morning and into Thursday afternoon in Hoover. As Ole Miss, we know now we know they're solidly in as a regional host, but to be a top 8 national seed and host all the way up to Omaha, the Rebels really could help their case with a win over Georgia on Thursday. It was eliminator time in Hoover. This one took over 5 hours to decide between Ole Miss and Georgia. There's no such thing as a short baseball game when you're playing at the Met. But a good start for the Rebels in the first inning. Greg Kessinger, second pitch he sees, gone. Solo shot, that gives Ole Miss a 1-0 lead. And they would get another good outing from their starting pitcher, Brady Feigl. As you know, Ryan Rolison pitched well on Wednesday, while Feigl continuing the trend. 6 2/3, 3 hits, 1 earned. There's one of his 3 Ks right there. So Ole Miss takes a 1-0 lead to the bottom half of the fourth. Chase Cockrell is up with Will Golson on third, and Cockrell going to bring home the New Hope Trojan as he taps on home and make it a 2-0 lead for Ole Miss. Rebels could have added to their lead in the fifth with Golson up, and he's going to just zing one all the way to the wall and left. Nick Fortes, though, the guy standing on first, but he's going to be waved home with 2 outs, and they would tag him at home right there, so the Rebels would remain up 2 until the rain came. A nearly 2-hour and lightning delay at the Met. They tried to play through it for a little while, but finally they said, no, we need to bring the tarp out for the 7th inning. So we would get to all the way to the 8th inning when it was a 3-1 game. Parker Caracci now on. Now we've got 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs. There's nobody on first. Parker Caracci gets the ground ball there, but from Aaron Shunk, and then just inexplicably throws it home. He could have thrown to the force at first and ended the inning. Instead, Georgia scores 2 on the error, so we go to extra innings. In the 10th inning, Parker Caracci gives up a solo home run to L.J. Talley. Parker actually pitched very well. Had 6 strikeouts against Georgia, but had that lapse at home and then the home run given up right there. So the Rebels trail 4-3 to the 10th. Here comes the Rebel rally. Thomas Dillard raking one all the way to the wall and right. It gets down. That would score Nick Fortes, so we are all tied at 4. Then Tim Rowe stepping up. Parker Cracer, by the way, yeah, you know he's liking. He doesn't want to be the reason why Ole Miss loses. Tim Rowe, you got Dillard on second. Infield staying out and gives that one up. As Dillard's going to come around to score, Ole Miss rallies to win a 5-hour extra inning thriller. 5-4, they will advance to play the loser of Texas A&M Auburn on Friday at 3 p.m. Here's the players after the game, and Thomas Dillard talking about picking up their teammate after that error.
You got to be able to pick somebody up if they make a mistake. And Parker's one of my good friends. He's going to be my roommate next year. And after the game, he just came up to me and gave me a big hug and said that he loved me. Because, you know, he knew that he didn't have the performance that he wanted to have today and maybe had a little mental error there. But he knows that we have a really good offense and that if he makes a mistake, that we'll be there to back him up. So it was a great feeling to get a big hug from him after the game.
Yeah, I think that's what's great about our team. We have anybody in the lineup who can pick each other up, and on the pitching staff too. And so it all started with Nick Fortes, who got a big hit, and then Thomas with the double. And I mean, Golston or Zabowski could have both got Thomas in, but I mean, I was lucky enough for it to be me.
And staying with Ole Miss, good news for the Ole Miss men's basketball team as Terrence Davis announced he will be returning for his senior season with the Rebels. Davis averaged nearly 14 points per game as a junior, went through workouts with several NBA teams before deciding to return. New head coach Kermit Davis will lean heavily on the South Haven native's abilities for his final season playing at the Pavilion in Oxford. Now, the SEC baseball tournament continues actually later this morning. Going to be a 10 a.m. game between, I believe it's going to be Arkansas taking on Texas, or Arkansas is going to be playing in that game. So just, the SEC baseball tournament has been weird. It's been wacky. It's been strange. It's been weather-ridden. But regardless, baseball will continue to be played. Ole Miss is going to continue on. They have to keep winning again. It's double elimination up until Saturday, where it moves to single elimination. So we'll continue to follow what happens in the SEC baseball tournament. By the way, it's Arkansas and Florida, I believe, that are playing. But I could be wrong. I can't keep track of everything. That's all for sports for now here on Sunrise. We hope you have a great rest of your morning.
Mic check, 1, 2.
And Eric, yes. How often do they?
Mic check.
Gotcha.
Good morning and welcome to Get Fit Friday. I'm Whitney Brown here at the Fitness Factor with Beth Jeffers, and last week we talked to you about one-on-one personal training and some advantages of that. But in the last 3 to 4 years, even longer, we've seen a boom in the fitness industry in small group personal training.
Right, small group training has really taken off, and I think there's a few reasons for that. One is affordability.
Right.
A lot of times individuals, it can be a little expensive doing one-on-one training, and so this way they're in a group of 3 to 4 people. Here at the Fitness Factor, our small group, we try to keep them no more than 4 people.
Right.
And I think that people still, you know, end up getting the attention that they
Absolutely.
deserve. And, you know, in the one-to-one training, sometimes you and your trainer end up talking about other things and you end up losing the whole dynamic of the workout itself.
Absolutely. Well, in the video that you're seeing here is a small group environment, and I happen to be the trainer. And what happens sometimes is people feel like they're not going to get enough attention, or that they will get lost. And really, you know, what happens is we show lots of modifications at the beginning, and the more that the trainer does the small group training, the easier it is to manage those people. So there's plenty of attention to be given to everyone, and it's really fun. You get some accountability, not only from the trainer, but from the other people in your group.
And I think that a lot of times people are worried that they need to put a small group together with all their buddies before they train, and that's not the case at all.
Sometimes the best groups are the people that don't know each other because they're really focused on the workout. It is nice to have friends in the group, but what we do at the Fitness Factor is we just make the groups ourselves. So we plan it around the time that's convenient for the client, and the 2 to 4 people that are there get to know each other in the session, but they don't have to put the groups together themselves.
Right, and it is a very affordable way to work out, and you get attention, you have your workout planned by a trainer.
Absolutely.
And you get good results.
Absolutely, it's really fun. So we suggest if you're looking for an option for training that might be a little more affordable than personal training, try out small group this summer.
And next week we'll talk about team training, which is even more affordable, but led by an instructor. We'll see you next week on Get Fit Friday.
For more Get Fit Fridays, go to WCBI.com.
My check.
Mic check.
What? I think
3,
Jacob
4,
Dickey
5,
is
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Welcome back to Sunrise. We're joined now by John and Haley from Longhorn Steakhouse. Good morning, guys. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us.
It is Memorial Day weekend, so a lot of people are going to be doing some grilling. And you have a hotline, actually, for people who need some assistance.
Absolutely. So our hotline is 1-855-LH-GRILL, and that's for anybody who's intimidated by grilling this Memorial Day weekend.
Might be really helpful to some people. Scott, I know you're excited to try some of this food.
I literally all morning, while they were getting here setting up, I couldn't even hardly read the news because I was like getting so hungry, mouth watering.
If we've seemed a little distracted now, all of a sudden you know why. What did you bring with you guys?
So John here is going to explain our cuts of steak and what we're going to be grilling, and then we'll dive into the grilling portion.
Nicknamed the Steak Master. That's what we'll say for now.
All right, so right here we have our filet. You know, we have that in a 6-ounce, 8-ounce, and 11-ounce.
And that's a thick cut filet.
Okay. And then we have our porterhouse, which is a 22-ounce. We also have a T-bone, which is our 18-ounce. And then we have our 18-ounce outlaw ribeye. Of course, you can't eat an 18-ounce. You always get our 12-ounce regular ribeye.
Okay. I say go big or go home.
Yeah,
I mean,
doesn't this steak right here look beautiful?
Oh,
I mean,
man.
if you can't finish that, you can't eat the steak.
Agreed. So. Something's wrong if you can't eat that.
Very good. Now, how different do these have to be prepared? I mean, we're talking about different sizes. Are they prepared generally pretty different as well?
Well, we season all our steaks boldly.
Okay.
That's what we're known for. So we put a lot of generous seasoning on it. So, all of them are prepared the same way. We cook them fresh to order. We'll keep our steaks fresh. We never freeze our beef. So we get them all fresh. So.
That makes a huge difference too.
Yes, and if it is raining this Memorial Day, hopefully it's not, but if it is, you can use a grill pan like we have here. Instead of using your grill outdoors, you can still grill indoors. So
that's perfect.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
Perfect.
Just slap it on there and go to town, I guess, with it.
Absolutely. So today we're going to be grilling the Longhorn porterhouse that John was talking about. So he's going to go ahead and season the steak, and then I'll walk us through the grilling process.
All right, so we're using our signature char blend, which is our secret. We can't tell you what's all in it.
Oh man!
But
so I can't ask that question.
But it is going to have, if you want to do it at your house, we have kosher salt. It's kosher salt, garlic, pepper. We also have onion powder, and then about 4 other ingredients in there. And you want to give it a nice even coat. You want to pat it down, make sure that seasoning stays on there. You don't want to, lose any of that flavor. Because you're going to lose a little bit when you throw it on that char. Or you throw it on that grill, it's going to fall through the grates. So you want to give it a nice generous amount so you have a lot of seasoning, a lot of flavor. But of course, we do have that hotline you can call if you have any questions.
Which is pretty awesome. I mean, if someone needs a little extra help, or like you said, if they feel intimidated, which I would be intimidated by a big outside grill, so I would have to use the hotline. That's pretty cool. That's awesome.
And this is our 6th year in a row doing it. And it's open from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Central Time.
Now, who's on the other end of that line when they call?
Grill masters.
Okay, so people
trained grill masters
know what they're talking about.
Absolutely.
What are some of those typical questions that you guys might get?
Some of them are like, if it does rain, can we grill indoors? What is the right cut of steak? How do we season it? How do you grill it? How long do you grill it?
Okay.
So
awesome.
Those are some questions.
Some good information
Yes,
there.
absolutely. So here we have our grill pan. It's already been seasoned with a little bit of oil. That's all you need at home is a little bit of vegetable or canola oil sprayed on the grill pan. And we're going to take our porterhouse steak here that's already been seasoned as well. Let's throw it on the grill.
I love that sound.
Yes.
I was thinking the same thing.
It just makes me hungry.
And depending on what you like your degree of doneness to be, you want to flip the steak every 3 to 4 minutes. I personally like my steak a medium rare, so you flip it just probably 3 to 4 times to get that medium rare every 3 to 4 minutes.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, that's always the hardest part for me too, is knowing when to take it off the grill. It seems
Absolutely.
like the biggest struggle.
Absolutely. And we do what's called a 5-finger touch test that you can do. So if you have your palm out like this is going to be rare. If you touch your pointer finger to your thumb, that's going to be medium rare, medium well, and well done. Okay. So that's a good little trick for you.
Fun fact.
I've never seen that
Fun
before.
Fact Friday. Fun Fact Food Friday.
Very cool. And Haley, do you want to give them real quick a reminder of what that phone number is if they need to
Yes,
call?
absolutely. That phone number is 1-855-LH-GRILL. I'm just going to flip this here, and then we're going to show you our finished product that we brought with some corn. Look at that.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. Thank you guys so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you for having
love
us.
it. All right, well, we're going to indulge in this. So, Jacob,
be jealous at home.
Yeah, be jealous at home, but Jacob, you can be jealous over in the Weather Center too.
It smells so good in here right now, and I have to tell you about the weather this morning. So, hey, you know, we might have some rain in the forecast here for the Memorial Day weekend, so maybe Longhorn is the place to go. SkyCam Network showing clearing now. We were watching some fog in Louisville earlier. Pickens County still has a dense fog advisory until 9 a.m. and perhaps some patchy fog still after this morning, but it will mix out very quickly as that sun comes up. Once the sun comes up, so do the temperatures, starting today in the 60s, up mid to upper 60s, a few 70s on the board. Iuka checking in at 70 this morning. West Point, good morning to you. We are at 68, 64 in Louisville, and 68 in Philadelphia. Through the day, then, we'll get those temperatures into the mid to upper 80s, and we'll have the chance for a few scattered afternoon shower and storms. More than yesterday, what we saw. Futurecast picking up on that well. Notice how we get the heating of the day, those showers and storms blossom. Watch for some stronger storms, perhaps with some gusty winds and small hail, but nothing too significant expected from that. Invest 91 is, at 90L, excuse me, is what we are watching here as it moves into the Gulf. That will affect our Memorial Day forecast here, so we're expecting showers and storms Saturday, more tropical influence Sunday and Monday, so if you're grilling out, maybe Longhorn is that answer for you. We'll have your 7-day forecast, and we'll take a look at more at the tropics coming up here in just a bit. Time now for Sketch a Sky. Annabelle has a picture for us of her wearing her having her umbrella and range gear on. That's something where she is ready for the weekend rain. If you have a Sketch the Sky, you can send them in to WCBI, P.O. Box 271, Columbus, Mississippi, or email them, weather@wcbi.com. Again, thanks to Annabelle for sending in our Sketch the Sky today.
Sketch the Sky is brought to you by Pediatric Dentistry of Columbus with Dr. David K. Curtis and Dr. Katie Curtis Wyndham.
Welcome back, everyone. Time now 6:42. They were stationed at an air base in Wyoming, entrusted with guarding America's nuclear missiles. Now more than a dozen airmen have been disciplined for using and selling mind-bending drugs, including LSD. At least one admitted he couldn't have responded in a nuclear emergency. Here's Tony Duckapole.
F.E. Warren Air Force Base in Wyoming is on the front line of America's nuclear defense, home to land-based nuclear-tipped missiles like these filmed by 60 Minutes in 2014. Each 20 times more powerful than the bomb that destroyed Hiroshima. The airmen responsible for guarding these weapons are supposed to be on high alert. But in court-martial documents obtained by CBS News, details about a drug ring on base show some were just high, mostly on the psychedelic drug LSD. I absolutely just loved altering my mind, one airman testified at his court-martial. Another said under oath, I didn't know if I was going to die that night or not, and admitted he would not have been able to perform his duty in case of a nuclear security emergency. Between 2015 and 2016, more than a dozen nuclear-based personnel were found to have been abusing LSD and other drugs, including cocaine, ecstasy, and marijuana. None were accused of using LSD on duty.
The person is going to be affected on the job and directly affected by the acute intoxicating effects of LSD.
But Dr. Elias Dakwar, who works with substance use disorders at Columbia University's Irving Medical Center, says LSD's effects last longer than the initial trip.
There may still be lingering anxiety, lingering suspicion, as a result of any kind of experience that is harrowing. It leaves a certain residue.
In a statement, the Air Force said there are multiple checks to ensure airmen are able to execute the mission safely, securely, and effectively.
In all, 14 airmen were disciplined, including 6 convicted in court-martials of using or distributing LSD. The most severe sentence was 12 months in jail, but the lead prosecutor in that case wanted much more, citing the effect this case could have on public trust, not to mention safety. Tony Duckapole, CBS News, New York.
Still ahead, we'll have another look at your forecast and local headlines. Stay with us.
your first alert forecast with meteorologist Jacob Dickey.
Thanks for joining us this morning on Sunrise. We were watching a little fog in Louisville, and just like that, it has mixed out, gone away. Looking at clear skies there, maybe a few low clouds in some other spots this morning, but as that sun rises, we mix out the fog and we get those temperatures to rise too. Starting off in the mid to upper 60s in Spot, up to 72 in Corinth this morning. Iuka checking in at 70. We will get those temperatures to rise into the mid to upper 80s this afternoon. For Pontotoc, we've got 83 by lunchtime, maybe a few scattered showers and storms. Into the afternoon, we'll get up to 87 in Pontotoc County, and really most places with, again, the chance for these showers and storms. You can see them blossom through the day here today. By tonight, then, they fizzle out. Very much a summer-like forecast for the day, where we get those pop-up showers and storms in the late morning and afternoon, and we continue that into the weekend here for Memorial Day, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We start to get some more tropical influences in here, and so we'll be looking at the potential for some tropical development to occur in West 90L is what we're watching. 90% chance of forming into a tropical depression as it moves to the north here over the next 5 days, and really in the next 24 hours we'll really have to start keeping our eyes on it as it gets out of the wind shear that's over the Yucatan Peninsula and moves into the favorable Gulf of Mexico, warm waters, low wind shear, everything we need to develop some tropical activity. As it moves north, the biggest threat will be the heavy rain from this, and we think the rain will be on the eastern side of it, so the eastern side of the center of low pressure. If that low goes to our east, just by about 50, 100 miles or so, that heaviest rain axis will be in the Florida Peninsula into Georgia. If it goes more towards the west or even into the Mississippi Gulf Coast, then we'll have to watch for heavier rain, maybe see some higher rain totals falls in here. All in all, very moist air is coming in for us, so scattered showers and storms start to affect the Gulf Coast on Saturday and then into our area on Sunday. So if you're heading down to the beach, they're a very tricky forecast, and we really have some trouble here. It may hang around for a while as there's not really an area for it to escape. High pressures on both sides will help it move slowly over our area. 7-day forecast shows those scattered showers and storms today. Tomorrow we see better chances, and then Monday through Wednesday see that tropical troubles as we get these scattered storms back on Thursday with highs near 90. Here's our weather quiz question by Spiller Furniture and Mattress. We were asking, when was the last time a hurricane made landfall on the Mississippi Gulf Coast? Not expecting this to be a hurricane, could be a weak tropical storm, but if you guessed 2017, answer C, you're correct. Hurricane Nate made landfall last year.
Welcome back. The former manager of the Columbus Lowndes Airport is once again facing criminal charges. The state auditor now accuses Billy Scarborough of stealing fuel from the city fuel depot. Scarborough is charged with embezzlement for using his fuel privileges to take more than $14,000 in diesel fuel. This marks the second time Scarborough has been arrested. That 2014 case says Scarborough stole parts from a private plane housed at the airport. The case was later dismissed after he went through a pre-trial diversion program. Right now, Scarborough is free on bond.
A Columbus man will spend 15 years in jail for stabbing someone inside a vehicle while they were on their way to church. Jordan Hartzell was also ordered to pay a $500 fine in Lowndes County Circuit Court. The stabbing happened in April of 2017. At the time, Columbus police told WCBI that 6 people were inside the vehicle at the time of that stabbing. Hartzell was on parole at the time. The victim suffered minor injuries. All right, time now 6:56. Stay with us. We'll have another look at your responses to the Sunrise question of the day. Stay with us.
Welcome back. We are wrapping things up here on Sunrise, but before we go, we want to take another look at your responses to the Mississippi Peanut Supply question of the day.
Yes, how are you spending your Memorial Day weekend?
What are your plans?
All right, we got some questions, the answers to the questions here. Sheila, she was having a cookout. We heard from her. Penny, she's going catfishing.
No.
Got some people who want to go fishing, and Shakita, then she's making memories with families and friends. And her oldest is graduating tonight. Yeah, a lot of graduations.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
congratulations.
That. A lot of people getting out of college, out of high school, moving up in the world.
I want to go to this catfishing. Like, are we talking about noodling, or catfishing?
Scott, you want to go everywhere. The viewers are doing.
I don't want to go noodling. Well, I want to go, but I'm not sticking my hand down in a hole to
He just
pull
wants
a
to
big
eat
fish
the
out.
fish after it's all
That's
done.
right.
Yeah.
But, hey, maybe we'll get to eat some of the Longhorn here in the break or whatnot. But
We'll get
that's
a
good
chance to
food. It's
eventually.
good grilling.
it's
If you get the rain this weekend,
delicious.
head to Longhorn. It's perfect. They'll grill for you.
Yeah, exactly. If you can't go outside and grill, because there might see a little bit of rain this weekend.
But Scott,
Yeah.
you want to grill too, right?
I'm going to do it all. I want to do it all.
Especially eat the grilling for sure. Well, thank you for beginning your morning with us here on Sunrise. Don't forget, we'll be back on Monday, and you can join us on the CW4 in just a couple seconds.